I know him because he's always with the people despite his fame. Now I want to present to you the talking too much, Zack de la Rocha.
Thank you so much for having me here once again in Arizona. The last time I was here, I marched with you on February 28th, and a reporter mentioned to Joe Arpaio that I had come and asked if he was afraid of my presence here, and Joe Arpaio responded by first butchering my name, which is not surprising, but then said that he wasn't afraid of me. And it's interesting because he completely missed the point. Of course he's not afraid of me. Who is he afraid of? He's afraid of you! He's afraid of you! And it's because of your efforts tirelessly in the streets, marching and confronting this ill racist policy that his impunity is beginning to crumble. But it's not just about a brutal and bigoted man alone, but about the federal policy that empowers him. Many of us are here today to confront the racism and the destructive policy of the 287G agreement. The practice of this policy has unearthed what I consider to be one of the most dire human rights crises in this country right now. So we need to confront also and get into the specifics of this ugly and brutal agreement. We need to confront the legal lynching that has been systematically woven into this policy, as the line between civil law and criminal law has been all but erased, tearing apart the constitutional protections of those of us working here with or without documents. With this critical distinction destroyed, and without any substantial oversight of the local and state police powers, these agreements are imposed within parts of the country which have a history of racism and racial violence against people of color. It opens the doors for that racism to infect the department that supposedly are there to protect us, and instead becomes instruments of terror and violence against our communities. It opens the door for the illegal search and seizures. It opens the door for the denial of due process, the ritual practice of racial profiling, the violent separation of families, the unchecked violence and terror that are rampant within these detention centers against the innocent. Which is why we are here to pressure Janet Napolitano to open these doors, and expose the terror and torture of the innocent. But it's true that wherever this vicious policy has been imposed, the same effects come up again and again. In North Carolina and Alabama and other states, the same horrific stories emerge. None, however, compared to the situation here in Arizona with Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Which is why I want to stand with you, which is why I want to applaud you, because if we can challenge this here, we can challenge it anywhere. But perhaps nothing could illustrate the horrors of this policy better than those voices in the shadows whose courage in the face of this police terror remain unheard. But I have a letter here which I wish to read to you. It's an anonymous letter, and it was sent by a collection of women now being detained and abused here in Estrella. To whom it may concern, we attest that we are a group of desperate and frustrated women that are asking for someone to help us. We find ourselves detained in the Estrella prison of Maricopa County. There are lots of women that are unjustly being accused for crimes that we have not committed. We are all mothers of families, wives and daughters, and for this reason, we are asking for your help. Please have mercy on us. What you do outside of what's taking place in here is nothing. We are treated like the worst delinquents, the worst criminals, only because we are Hispanic or undocumented. They treat us worse than anything that exists in this world. There are plenty of injustices and plenty of humiliations that we are experiencing. Some of us for wanting work and make a better life for our children, and others for believing that we could claim our vehicles with a driver's license from our country. We were lied to. We called to the place on 17th Street and asked them for information on the requirements that we needed to claim our vehicles. And they lied to us by telling us that they do not accept licenses from another country. And we arrive there and we show our documents. They arrest us and put charges on us, saying that those documents are false, and that we have instruments to falsify these documents. And none of that is true. These are valid licenses, and they tell us they are not. Please help us. We find ourselves here in a tunnel without an exit, being treated like dogs that are not deserving of anything. We need help for our cases, someone to listen to us and do something for the injustices that are being committed against us. Our children and our parents suffer our sentences the most. And we find ourselves with our hearts broken without knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. We ask that you have the valor to take this document to a news agency or a radio or to any agency that can help us that are undocumented, or to any place that can help us. We are human beings, not animals. We are women, not criminals. Please help us. Listen to our pleas so that our cases can come to light, so that we have hope of coming out and being reunited with our families. Please, we ask you, we beg you, we plead you, help us. I want to close by saying that I wonder if in our minds, several years ago when Arpaio's criminal abuses of power were being exposed by your work, that what started as a small group of dedicated people responding to the voices in their community would help set into motion what has become a national movement that is successfully exposing the dangerous direction of the 287G agreements and the clear unlawful and racist practice of them by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department. 40,000 signatures have been delivered by the National Day Labor Organizing Network. Congressional hearings have begun and led by Representative John Conyers, alliances with the National Action Network, and now a Department of Justice investigation into Joe Arpaio's office, which would have been impossible without the sounds of your marching feet and your voices and your hearts who are willing to confront the fear and challenge this racist authority, and we will continue to fight them and remove